Hello and welcome to Education at SSBJ online video tutorials. We were in chapter reproduction in animals of class 8th, and the previous video tutorial we have learnt the definition of reproduction and what is the importance of reproductions. Before we go further into this chapter, I suggest you to go through the points of importance of reproduction, because that is required to write as an answer for the question importance of reproduction, right? Okay, so this is already covered topic. Those of you who have not seen, please refer the previous video. Now we'll go ahead. Types of reproductions. We have just started in the previous video the different types of reproductions, and you must have even studied in the previous classes. Now again we'll go in detail. We have two types of reproduction, and they are sexual reproduction as well as asexual reproduction. And meaning of sexual reproduction is that we require parents to start with sexual reproductions. We require father and mother. Okay, and basically we require two cells which is from father as well as a mother. Okay, each of these they contribute two cells, and a cell given by the father is called sperm, right? And the cell which is from mother is called egg, right? So each parent contributes a gamete. A gamete means a sex cell, right? And the fusion of these two gives rise to another complete cell which is called a zygote, right? And this zygote continues producing more and more cells, and it becomes multicellular, and then we can call that as embryo, and that embryo develops into a fetus and then into a baby. So what is to be understood with this is that the sexual reproduction requires a sperm and egg to start with, and who will give sperm? It's a father, and the egg which is there in the mother, and therefore we require, the condition is that we require parents here in sexual reproduction. Whereas in asexual reproduction we require a single parent. Okay, single parent is enough, and there are four types of asexual reproduction. That is binary fission, then budding, fragmentation, and parthenogenesis. Okay, now in this video tutorial we shall learn a bit of all these steps again, right? So first is binary fission. It usually occurs in bacteria. Okay, in the bacteria you will find a genetic material which is called a DNA. Suppose if this is a bacteria, this is stage 1, right? What happens first is there will be a bifurcation, a division of this genetic material. If this is DNA, and what is DNA? That is one which impart hereditary characters from one organism to the future organisms, right? This DNA in humans will help us to impart, to transfer the characters of parents to their offspring, children, right? Here what happens, this will break slowly into two, right? And slowly it gets separated, and then there will be it will start dividing somewhere here, and then a separate membrane is developed, a border is developed, and that results into two bacteria. Okay, that usually occurs in bacteria and few other microorganisms. So this is what is called binary fission. Now as far as next one, that is budding, we can take up example of hydra. Okay, it also occurs in yeast. You have studied yeast, hydra and all in previous chapters. If this is a hydra, this is a parent hydra, it's a single parent. Okay, we don't require both the parents here, like in humans, male and female. Here only one parent is required, and slowly you will find that this particular portion will start growing up into a next offspring of this hydra, and here in this case it will be identical, it will be exactly same. So this process is what called budding. You can read now here, small growth on the surface of the parents break off here. It can be anywhere on this surface, resulting into slowly that will grow into another hydra. Even in the yeast, right, it grows, and it's a very quick process. You will find yeast growing all over the bread, right? So unlike sexual reproduction, asexual reproduction is very quick. So this is one example, please keep in the mind. Fragmentation. This fragmentation can happen in plants as well as animals, like corals, sponges. The main very important, generally we give this example, that's about the starfish, right? Otherwise it happens even in plants and animals. So detailed explanation is not required as far as your class 8 syllabus is concerned. You will be asked to give one single example for each of these, and we'll take up as a starfish, and this starfish gets brick. Understood? One of the tentacle like structure here will be separated from this. Okay, this is what a fragment it is. It's a fragment, and that fragment continues to have a separate starfish. Okay, so this fragment is separated here, and it develops into a separate starfish, and that's how one single parent gets converted into two, right? And that is called fragmentation. Next one is parthenogenesis. Okay, so this should come here. And what happens here is an embryo develops from unfertilized cell. You know, you must have seen in the sexual reproduction, we require a fertilization, and how fertilization happens? A sperm plus, egg will give a fertilization. That is zygote. Okay, and that will grow into a baby. But in this case, what happens? A group of cells, embryo, develops from an unfertilized cell. This is very unique one. Okay, so in the case of sexual reproduction, fertilization takes place here, and because of the sperm and egg combination, right, and then it results into a baby, right? But in the case of parthenogenesis, once again here is, it's an unfertilized cell, occurs in invertebrates as well as some fish, amphibians and reptiles, right? What do you mean by invertebrates? Animal lacking of backbone. Okay, humans have a backbone, we are vertebrates, right? And what are the examples of invertebrate? You will find these freshwater creatures, earthworms, centipede. All these they do not have a proper backbone, therefore they are invertebrate, and they develop into new organism from an unfertilized cell. The details of this process is not there for your syllabus. In future classes you will learn more about parthenogenesis, right? You will find this even in some fishes. Amphibians. What do you mean by amphibians? Amphibians, those who can live water as well as land, such as salamander and toad, and newt, frog. These are all amphibians, right? So these are the different methods of asexual reproduction. Now a question can be like, write the differences between sexual and asexual reproductions in the exam, and for that what you have to write in brief. Okay, try to understand sexual reproduction requires two parents, and here only one parent is required. Okay, we have studied now a bacteria gets its DNA distributed and then separated. In this case, it is a sperm from the father gets is required to fertilize egg, whereas here a single organism makes an exact copy of itself. Simple, right? Sexual reproduction happens in animals, flowering plants and some fungi, but whereas asexual reproduction happens in some plants and fungi and few animals. Very important difference is that the offsprings, the children, the babies which are formed in the sexual reproductions are similar, as how we have two hands and two legs and all features, it will be there for our offspring also. Whereas here in the asexual reproduction, they are identical. Understand, try to understand similar and identical meaning. The identical is exact, Xerox copy. Okay, so because of this, no genetic variation is possible, whereas in the sexual reproduction we will find more of genetic variation, more type of dogs. You see, one species and different types, genetically different types of dogs. The last one is that asexual reproduction is very fast and easy, but only thing is no genetic variation, where it takes time consuming, long time. Just think of a birth of a child, it takes almost 9 months, right? Therefore sexual reproduction is time consuming, asexual reproduction is fast and easy, but no genetic variations, whereas here we have genetic variations. Now these differences are important as far as your exams are concerned. Otherwise, I know that you know all those things, but you should able to write this as far as exams are concerned. So make a note of this. Again, we require in sexual reproductions two parents, and here fertilization takes place because of the sperm and egg, and it is there in going on in animals and flowering plants and fungi. Offsprings are different from the parents. They are similar but they are different, whereas here they are identical, and there is a genetic variation here in the sexual reproductions, whereas no genetic variation is possible here in the asexual reproduction. So I am going to stop here. So please recall and try to remember all these points as far as the sexual and asexual reproductions difference are concerned. Thank you very much. See you with remaining content of this chapter, such as reproductive organs. Right? Thank you very much.